Now, the fourth key element of on-page SEO is heading tags. So can you remember the difference between a title tag and a heading tag? If not, no problem. We've covered a title tag, of course. Now, title tag isn't visually seen on the web page itself by users. It's only seen by search engines by crawling through the source code of a website. So I'm on digitalmarketingradio.com again, having a look at a recent episode that I published called Personal Branding Strategy with Chris Ducker. So that's an interview I recorded a few weeks ago and published, but let's have a look at the source code of that. And we'll remind ourselves in terms of the title tag, it's Personal Branding Strategy - Chris Ducker. So that's the title tag. But what about the heading? Okay, looking back on the page itself, this big text here, Personal Branding Strategy - Chris Ducker plus the pipe and DMR #88, that is the heading. So there's a heading tag behind that, and that's an indicator, a strong indicator to Google as to the purpose of the page. So we'll have a look in the source code again and actually look for the heading tag. So what does a heading tag look like? Well, you actually have to search for, so if you use find, I'm pressing Control F, find, and then if you go open bracket like this and H1, and that's what you're looking for. Now, there should only be one heading tag in a page, and if you do it like this, like in the video here on the top right hand side, you can search for where the heading tag is. So it's just down here in the source code. So if I can drag the video screen down there, then you will see H1. Don't worry about this piece of code there as well, because that's just a little bit of extra notification really to search engines, but this bit is what you're looking for here, and that is the heading. So that's actually the heading tag, and you can see where DMR #88 comes in there as well. Okay, so that's H1 in the source code, but is also visually seen on the web page, and generally it's the biggest text on a web page unless it's styled otherwise. So a heading tag is the most significant on-page factor when it comes to SEO. So it's important that you incorporate your target keyword phrase within your heading tag. So my target keyword phrase for this particular page is either Personal Branding Strategy or Chris Ducker, because Chris Ducker's a fairly well-known chap online. So it would be great if I can get this page launched and available fairly high in Google for either of those phrases. So I did mention heading tags, and you can actually use H2 tags, H3 tags in exactly the same format as heading tags. And if you're producing a really comprehensive article here, what you do is you would do something like software couldn't live without here. You would do that as an H2 or an H3 heading tag. So let's have a look at the source code again and check to see if there's any H2s or H3s. So up to find here again, Control F, and we will search for H2s. Now there's not H2s, but there is H3s, and that's what I've used to style the subheadings there. So that's decent practice there as well. You've got software couldn't live without there as well. And if you have a look again up here, you can see there's 4 mentions of H3s. My number one takeaway there as well. So ideally, this is an absolute best practice, because ideally what you do is you continue along a theme on a single page. So this would be a page about personal branding strategy, and perhaps this subheading would be something like looking deeper into personal branding strategy for smaller businesses, or something like that. So you'd perhaps add the keyword phrase or a related keyword phrase within the subheading and continue to write about that. So H2s, H3s, H4s, down to H6s are opportunities to write subheadings within your page to further emphasize to search engines precisely what the page is about. Now, nowadays, there's no need at all to continually repeat a keyword phrase. And in fact, in terms of optimization, just include it once in your title, in your meta description, in your H1, and somewhere within your body content, and then write naturally around that. Write lots of decent text that isn't available elsewhere online, and that's your best way of optimizing now, of course, apart from doing off page SEO as well. But we'll get into that as well. But hopefully that gives you a summary of what heading tags are and what they're used for and why they're important to incorporate your keyword phrases in there.